Here with head coach Chip Hester, Barton College. Coach Hester, thanks for joining us. As we get talking about 2023, let's look back at 2022 to start with, though, and just kind of give us your thoughts on the year and your first full season in the SAC.
Yeah, it was an adventure. It really was. We had obviously every week in the SAC is going to be a battle, and that proved out correctly. I thought we did some good things. Just like every football team out there, we had our struggles with staying healthy and that kind of thing. Jaquan Lynch, our quarterback, went down in the Lenore-Ryan game, and we had guys step up. But it changes your dynamic on your team a little bit, and we had a bunch of guys on defense get banged up, and so I thought our guys fought and competed the whole year, and hopefully we learned a lot of lessons. We got a lot of good experience, and so hopefully that'll help us going forward into 2023.
Staying with 2022 just for another minute, obviously it's the first year we played divisions,
right?
And had a chance to compete for a conference title within the regular season confines.
Right.
But how do you think that affected the year and just mentality of players, coaches, going into the season?
Well, I think as I've talked with the other coaches, I think pretty universally it's been something that was a good experiment, and I think our guys were excited about the chance to compete for a championship, and so I think it added a little something. I think in today's college football world, there's a lot of change going on, and so I think something that's new and has a little bit different energy was a positive change, and so the other part of that is you want to be in the mix, and so we weren't where we wanted to be, and couldn't quite put it together, and again, if you're not playing your best and really on top of your game, there are a bunch of teams in this league that'll make you look bad, and so we've got a lot of work to do this year in order to try to get ourselves in the conversation, and that's what you want to have a chance. If you're going to have a championship, you want to be in there and having a chance for it, and so that's what we're fighting for.
All right, so looking at 2023 and how do you guys look? Let's start on offense. You have, for the last 2 years, had basically the top running back in the nation, so what's the offense looking like?
Yeah, as you look, I always, when someone asks me about Jordan Terrell, I always then mention the offensive line as well, and so I think the thing that he's excited about and that I'm excited about is we've got 5 starters back on the offensive line, and so that's a big deal, and that starts with Alex Bushaw at center, and then all those guys have they've played a lot of football together, and so hopefully we can build on that, and Jaquan Lynch is back healthy, Cam Johnson at wideout's back healthy. We feel like our fullback from our starter from last year is back, and then the one from the previous year who was out with injury last year, Jack White, is back. So we've got a lot of guys coming back. I've said in this league that the talent level is it's top notch. It really is tough every week. But I would say that and offensively especially, and defensively as well, we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football together. They have played a lot of football. We were talking about it, maybe over 30 games together. So we're excited about where we are and what our chances are. We feel like we've got a good chance, but again, you've got to go out and earn it every single play.
Yeah. Let's flip it. What's the other side of the ball looking like? How's the defense?
Well, we're excited there as well. I think all coaches in preseason feel good about where they are, but you've got to do it on the field. But I think as you start talking about us on defense, you've got to start with our linebackers. Yeah. And Shane Perry and Matt Smith, man, they're good players and good guys, and just good culture guys as well. I always say that Shane Perry is a throwback. He's just a throwback. Over the summer, he's been involved with some strongman competitions and winning some of those things. So he's that linebacker mentality, and Matt Smith with his speed. And we've got guys all over the secondary that are back. Hopefully, we've got 2 guys that have been out with injury for quite a long time that'll be back and healthy, and Mike Webb and Darius Williams. But we've got a lot of starters back and guys that we're getting back from injury from last year. So we've got a lot of guys back, and I think Coach Burnett, our defense coordinator, and the defensive staff really has created a great culture on defense. And so that's something that I always look at to think, do you have a chance? And you've got a chance if you've built a strong culture. And those guys really love each other, and they play hard for each other. And we've added some good pieces. We have not gone a bunch into the transfer portal, and we've been lucky enough not to lose a bunch in the portal. But we've been able to add a couple guys, defensive line wise, and so I'm excited about where we are as just with our personnel.
Looking at this team, and obviously you mentioned a lot of these different guys, and you got a lot back and things like that, but who do you think, whether it's a position or player, that really, in order for you guys to be successful this year, this person or this group needs to step up?
Yeah, so I think what I'll say is our passing game needs to be more efficient.
Okay.
We've already talked about Jordan Terrell and our offensive line, there are a lot of great backs in the league, but I'd put him in our offensive line against anyone.
Yeah.
But what we've got to do this year is to take a step forward, is to get some efficiency in our passing game, and I'm really fired up that Lynch is back, Flippin is back at quarterback, and so we've got some depth there. But we as a passing game, the wide receivers and tight ends, we've got to get more efficient, and I think that'll make us harder to defend, and then in turn make us more successful as a total offense. So I think that's a big deal. I think on defense on the other side, man, we got banged up at defensive line, and so that's been a big focus for us. And if we can stay healthy there, I think that again that'll give us a chance to be more successful.
Okay. I'm going to leave you with this last one.
Yes, sir.
As you guys get ready for 2023, when the team gets back, what game are they looking at saying, hey, we got to win that one. That's the one we want. Whether it's, is it Erskine? Is it, UVA Wise or Wingate? Who is it?
So I don't have a really great Nick Saban impression, but if I was to have that, I'm sure that Nick would say it's game number one, and that's Chowan. So Chowan is up, and that I hope that's the one that our guys have circled. But to answer your question, the great thing about this league, and I've said it for years when I was at a previous institution, is that every week it feels like a rivalry game. And you look back and even last year, 2 years ago, we were able to find a way to beat Wingate. Well, then they got us last year, and so our guys have so much respect in Lenore Ryan. What a great program, and Wingate, Mars Hill, and there's just every week. It feels like a rivalry game, and so I think that's what makes it such a great league. And then you've mentioned Erskine, and Erskine started the same year that we started, and so they beat us the first time. We've got them, so it's gone back and forth a little bit, and so that naturally is a good rivalry game. But again, it's coach speak, but it's real.
It's Chowan.
It's Chowan. It's got to be.
Well, and it works too. From a geographic standpoint, kind of a little natural geographic rival and things like that. So I respect that.
You're buying.
I got it. That sounds good. Coach Hester, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Good luck in the 2023 season. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks for having me.